Hello everyone, this is the Promotory channel. Today we're going to have a new video format. I haven't had this kind of video on my channel before, but I've seen it on YouTube. This kind of format gets quite a lot of views, so I also want to experiment with it. So, what is this format? These are experiments, all sorts of experiments with engines. For example, what will happen if you put in wooden pistons? So I decided to experiment to make a few videos like this and see how you, my regular viewers, react and how, let's say, new viewers react. Well, will there be an influx of new viewers because of videos like this? I've prepared the engine, done some work here, and will now insert footage of what's been completed. What kind of engine is this? It's a Mercedes-Benz 1407. I worked on it once, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, but I don't remember exactly. If this were a 128 piston, a 447 engine, it would still be in demand. You could use it somewhere, do something with it, and so on. This is a 125 piston with a 125 diameter. Engines like this aren't really in demand now. So this engine has been lying in my workshop, I don't even know for how many years now. Well, it's been lying around for several years. So either I take it apart for scrap metal, keep some parts like the cylinder heads or something else, or I decide to experiment with it. What will the experiment be about? What do I want to do? First, I just want to start it up. Well, as usual, start it up, fill it with oil, pump the diesel, start it on the bench and see how it runs after such a long period of use. I'm not fixing its appearance. Let it stay dirty. It won't look good on camera, but we'll film it anyway. Videos like Pakistan truck get millions of views. Now there will be more dirt, more trash, and even more views. I'm starting it on diesel. What should I do next? I want to try starting it with oil. Use the fuel pump to pump oil from a canister. I haven't decided which one yet, but probably something thinner, maybe semi-synthetic, synthetic, or maybe I'll even use some hydraulic oil. I want to try starting it on some kind of oil. What should I do next? I'm going to remove one cylinder head at a time. I'll try starting it on diesel, then oil, and continue removing each cylinder head. So first, we'll remove the 6th cylinder head. Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll start with the 6th or the first one. We'll start from whichever side gives a better shot. If I remove the first cylinder head, I'll stop the engine and take steps to prevent oil or diesel from spraying. I start the engine without one cylinder head, then I remove the second cylinder head, start it without two cylinder heads, Then I remove the third cylinder head, it without 3 cylinder heads, and so on. That's it. For now, that's the amount of work to be done. You can also share ideas in the comments, such as what you'd like to see or suggest improvements. So, when I have some free time, I'll probably do similar experiments. Well, first we need to see how this one goes, and then based on that we'll draw some conclusions. Well, honestly, I'm interested in this kind of topic. I need to come up with something like that and see how it turns out. It's something unconventional, kind of like Mythbusters. I used to watch that show a lot and really liked it. I just don't have time now. Well, right? Let's get started. So what do I need to do here? I'll put on the filter. Alright, I'll use the old one. The filter is old, the oil is old. I'll pour it in and I'll set up the compressor over there. I'm getting it ready to start. And we'll run it on diesel for now. Let's go. So what is that all? I've powered it up. This is my tank. From the tank it goes to the manual pump. From the manual pump to the low pressure pump. From the low pressure pump it feeds in. This is the return line. I'll put the return line hose from the injectors into the canister. First I prime the system to flush out any dirt. Then the return line goes back to the main tank. Everything's ready for startup. I've connected everything. I hooked up the mechanical oil pressure sensor. I'll leave it hanging like this on the hoist for safety. I've connected the throttle cable, hooked up the diesel and primed everything. The throttle cable is traditionally fixed like this, yeah, with a clamp. This is our start button. The oil has been filled. The camera is set up. The lighting is ready. Well, let's try it out. everything I wanted to check, I've checked. The engine in general runs pretty well. So what are my next steps? What am I going to do next? Now I'm going to drain the diesel and pour in oil instead. Yeah, regular motor oil. I found some 5-37. So first it will start on diesel, and then gradually the oil will start getting into the pump. We'll see how it behaves. I'm curious too. This is my first time trying something like this, which I've always wanted to do. Now everything is switched to oil. I'm not pumping yet, just watching. There's still diesel in the pump. So it'll start on diesel before switching to oil. Everything's ready. I'm checking the temperature of the sleeve. Well, we see it's about 30 to 35 degrees, something like that. Well, it'll be enough for now on diesel, obviously. When the oil comes in, it may either stall or shake. I'm curious how the exhaust will be. I set up the camera here on purpose. Now I'll lower it a bit so we can look specifically at the exhaust. Alright, so we can see the temperature has risen to about 50 degrees, well 50, maybe 58-57. So it ran for about 2 minutes. We can see that absolutely nothing has changed, right? Basically in terms of how the engine runs, nothing has changed at all. It was losing a bit of revolutions per minute. Yeah, the revolutions per minute were dropping, but that was because of air. I had air in the hose, it got into the pump, and it took some time to pump it through. I thought it was about to stall, so I gave it full throttle. I wanted it to stall, but basically it just kept running as if nothing happened. So basically I didn't notice any difference at all in how the engine ran on oil. That actually surprised me a lot. As you can see, I'm pumping it and oil is coming out of the return line. There's no diesel left in the pump, meaning it's all burned up and gone into the injectors. Only clean oil comes out. Yes. So now I want to start it again and show that it's running specifically on oil. We can see, yes, it's clean oil. Alright, so let's check the cylinder sleeve temperature again. We see it's 40 degrees, right? Well, it doesn't go above 40. Alright, so now I'm starting the engine specifically on oil. So there's no diesel left in the pump, just oil in the lines. The whole fuel system now runs only on oil. Let's see how it starts. Well, basically I think it should start without any problems. Judging by how it was running steadily and smoothly, there wasn't even any smoke, you could say. I think it should start without any issues. So we continue. So what can I say? The engine is running well. Well, of course, there's a bit more smoke now. That's because it's running on clean oil without diesel. Some of the diesel was still left in the pump when I started it for the first time on oil. Now the second time, there's not a single gram of diesel left, and we can see that there's more smoke. The smoke has increased quite a bit. It's running well and stable. It responds to the gas pedal and revs up as expected. That's about it. That's the end of our experiment with the oil. So, what's next? Next, I need to remove the oil, refill with diesel, and fully prime the pump.